Howdy y'all, Patrick at Bombshell Minis here, and in this video I wanted to show you the new Raveners for Kill Team. Originally, Vicky was going to paint this team and had decided on a new color scheme for that, which is based on the kind of red and white color scheme for Hive Fleet Kraken. Now, it's not like Vicky isn't an accomplished painter that's, won painting awards and that sort of thing, but whenever she originally started to paint these, she wasn't really happy with the results, and so I re-primered them and started to work on the paint scheme that she had decided for them. So I primered over the original paint job with black-brown Pro Acryl primer and then sprayed ivory over that. Then I'm using that ivory as a base color for the flesh of the model. I decided that over the top of that, I was going to splatter a pattern of kind of a purplish color that I would be using later to wash over the flesh areas. And this would create sort of a modeled pattern, underneath the skin of that. From there, once that dried, I went ahead and blocked in all of the red areas for the carapace and the claws and those areas that would stand out against the white part of the skin. I figured that any overpainting that I did with the red, I could go back and touch up later with the ivory and kind of clean up those areas if I splodged some, paint in places that I didn't want to. Also, I didn't really want the modeled pattern to show through the carapace, so that's why I went ahead and did all of the splattering first, just to have that on the ivory colored areas. Now I'm taking the same wash that I used to splatter the modeled pattern over the flesh color and just wash that over the ivory parts. This creates a really good shade, kind of a color, and lends a purple kind of creepy tone to the skin parts. Once the red patches were dry in the first coat, I went back over certain areas with that and added a little bit more red to those areas in order to do a wet blending of the black on some of the highest areas and the peaks of the carapace armor. This would allow me to create a feathered fade gradient from the red areas into the deepest black areas. I repeated that same process on the tips of the claws and the scythes. Wet blending colors in these smaller areas is really easy to do using a wet palette because I can work back and forth between the black and the red and mix them directly onto the model to create this faded gradient. Once all of the hard surfaces were blocked out, I went back over those areas with a black wash in order to create shadows and contrast for those areas. I wanted to create a lot of black in the recesses in the areas, but I also wanted to move that wash around to keep it from pooling unnecessarily in some of the higher areas. So in this section, I went and kind of moved that around. The black wash seems to be kind of a thick sort of a medium, and so it allows you to push it around into the areas and actually place it where you want it to go. This also punched up the gradients and so forth on those hard surfaces and accentuated them. Using the same colors as before, I mixed a very light shade to be used as a highlight area to go over the soft surfaces. So with this very light ivory color, even though it's got a little bit of this flesh tone, a generic flesh tone in it, and a little bit of purple, it still stands out against the surface where the wash was applied before. So I went in and just hit the sharpest highlights or the sharpest edges on those areas in order to create a little bit more contrast between where that purplish shadow was and the highest peaks. Then following that, for the details on the face, I just used straight ivory to block out the colors on the teeth. Going back to the red and black colors that I used before, I went and mixed a little bit of this on the palette and just ran that over the very edges of the black areas and where it crossed into the red areas. So I worked that back and forth in sort of a alternating highlight method. That way it created a little bit more texture and a little bit more mix between where the black faded into the red and the red faded into the black. Here I just continue to alternate back and forth between the black and the red, depending on which I want as the most prominent color for that particular edge. So in some areas I'll edge highlight with the red, and then some areas I'll go back and define the areas with the darker black color. Then I added a little bit of ivory to the black and went back and just ran that along the very sharpest edges of the black areas to give them a sharp highlight. This process was repeated across the entire team, and I was doing this in sort of a batch process. So I would do all of this step on one model, and then I would move to the next model and repeat the same step. This is the same flesh wash that I used before, and now I'm just adding another layer over the fleshy bits in order to create more definition and contrast in those particular areas. Since the eyes are so tiny on these models, I really wanted them to stand out against the red and black, so decided on this Caribbean blue color. I painted ivory in there to block out the base colors to bring that up a little bit brighter and create more contrast, and then brushed over that with the Caribbean blue. Once all the creatures were finished, I went back with my generic basing recipe and blocked out the base colors in black brown, and then went over that with a little bit of dry brush using ivory to highlight up the black brown color. Then I finished all of the rims with coal black and gave everything a final varnish coat of Tester's Dull Coat spray. And then that leaves us with this right here. This was really a fun and different project to get to work on. I don't normally get to paint creatures and so forth like this, so the carapace and the fleshy areas really were a lot of fun to work back and forth across. I really liked all the organic shapes, and will probably be painting more Tyranids in the future in order to sort of coerce Vicky into playing some more Warhammer stuff at some point. So it's not like she doesn't have, 4,000 points worth of metal Tyranids still in the attic. If you liked seeing the process on this, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. That's going to really help us out to get it seen, and hopefully you'll find some tips along the way that will help you get your models table ready or not.